lines, 4 lines, 5 laps. Pause. Go, go, go.
Formula One remains the highest class of single-seater racing today. Rooted in the early to mid-20th century, Formula One has grown to be a popular spectator sport and has increasingly gained traction worldwide for its entertaining races and admirable drivers. I sat down with UK-based journalist Luke Smith, who's been covering the races since 2013. Through a precocious enthusiasm for writing, combined with an affinity for sports, Smith entered the world of journalism at the mere age of 17, and has since worked for the New York Times, CNBC, Crash.net, and Autosport. Today, he discusses many aspects of covering F1 and his experience traveling to the various circuits around the world. But what drew him to F1 in the first place?
I think the sort of the sport itself, like that has to be the main thing. It is the sporting drama. It's the fact that you have these amazing competitors going against each other. It's the drivers going head to head. It's the teams. It's the fact that it's like a team of 1,000 people behind each driver, sort of driving them on and making these cars and basically fighting to win week in or week out. Like it's really incredible.
Equally incredible, Smith gets to cover the races live. At the circuit, the journalistic process is intense and high pressure, and an interesting experience overall.
They'll have like a media center. It's like a room basically at the track. So you've got like the paddock and everything, and then there'll be a separate media center for everyone. And it's kind of like a big classroom, but you've got like lots of screens around with like, and it will show the race on. So basically, we watch the race kind of as you would on TV at home. Like it's pretty much the same coverage. But then we'll have like other screens, and it'll be stuff like timing or like track position or things like that. So it's extra bits of data we get.
In terms of content, there's more to Smith journalism than his extensive portfolio of race analyses. One article very dear to him and a rather taboo subject in such a strong-headed sport is Smith's conversation regarding the mental health of the drivers.
I did a piece on mental health in motorsport last year that I was very, very proud of. That was like, I really just, again, wanted to shine a light on something that's going on basically for F1. And I'm planning something for this weekend. I think it's World Mental Health Day on Sunday. So like, just to, again, highlight the issues basically and what's going on.
While spectators root for teams, it's forgotten how high stress the environment truly is for the drivers. With most of them being in their 20s, the world turns their eyes upon them with the pressure to win. Such pressure affects them surely, and sometimes even frantic and aggravated behavior is witnessed on track. Collisions occur, drivers quarrel, and what's left is only more pressure to perform better next time. Smith's take on how the drivers approach mental health is notable.
It was just interesting seeing the sort of different responses, because some of them were very Daniel Ricciardo, George Russell, Alex Albon, Lewis Hamilton, they were all very like, yeah, it's very important. Like, I really sort of do work on it or whatever. But then like Max Verstappen, he was like, no, it's fine. But even if I did sort of have a weakness, I would never admit that because it would look weak. And I just found that really interesting as sort of showing, I guess, the different sort of psyche between his approach and Lewis's approach. And that's maybe something we're seeing this year on track as well.
Despite the intensity of the sport and high demand for the journalism aspect of Smith's involvement with F1, he still takes great pride in his integrity and reflects on his career itself.
My job is primarily as a news reporter, but I think it's important that you do sort of have a voice and you do speak up about things, because again, that to me is the most powerful thing you can do in journalism. And I think that in F1 a lot of the time it's very much just about, oh, this guy's not happy with these tires, or this guy wants an update for his car, whatever. And that is only interesting to a very small percentage of people. And I think actually, like, if you can write about things that do maybe change the way people think or do sort of highlight important issues, I think that's fantastic.
Overall, Luke Smith is a well-established journalist with a love for F1 that's exhibited clearly through his passions when speaking about the topic. And while his start will always be in Formula One, the 26-year-old aspires to eventually cover other sports as well. And let me tell you, he isn't hitting the brakes anytime soon. Reporting from Northeastern University, this is Kylie Hendry.